today on the Tearsheet podcast.
Yeah, Instant is a simple solution for businesses to create their own branded debit cards and banking accounts. So we set out to kind of lower the barrier of entry for creating cards and accounts and delivering payment solutions for card and account-based payment solutions. And I think it's particularly useful for non-fintech businesses as well as new businesses. So it's not just limited to fintech.
Welcome to the Tearsheet podcast. I'm Zach Miller. A few weeks back, payments API firm Galileo launched Instant, which dramatically simplifies and accelerates launching a debit card, taking what can be a multi-month process and turning it into a couple of weeks. Galileo claims it had hundreds of companies signed up for its beta when it went live, and the interest is still very strong. Founder and CEO Clay Wilkes talked about Instant when he addressed Tearsheet's Resilience Conference a couple of weeks ago. Galileo Managing Director Clay Wilkes joins us on the podcast today to talk more about Instant. What could you do with better real-time consumer data? All data aggregation from Fiserv enables access to consumer permission data from over 18,000 sources. Lenders, advisors, fintech firms, and financial institutions can turn this data into actionable insight for their customers. Go to fiserv.com/alldata to learn more.
I'm Clay Wilkes, the Managing Director of Galileo Instant, and I've been at Galileo for about 4 years now. My background's in computer science and software engineering. And yeah, during my time here at Galileo, I've taken on more product responsibilities and have kind of gravitated toward product, and now headed up a new product, Galileo Instant.
And from what we've heard from Clay and his podcast a few weeks ago, and Clay's speaking at our Resilience Conference recently, Instant smells like a really big product for you guys. So can you describe what it is and who it's for?
Yeah, Instant is a simple solution for businesses to create their own branded debit cards and banking accounts. So we set out to kind of lower the barrier of entry for creating cards and accounts and delivering payment solutions for card and account-based payment solutions. And I think it's particularly useful for non-fintech businesses as well as new businesses. So it's not just limited to fintech, and allows kind of a new businesses that weren't able to deliver their own financial products. They've now got an easier way of doing that while maintaining focus on their core business.
That makes a lot of sense. And so I guess, can you describe what their process would have been before Instant came along? I guess that's with the Galileo Pro product. Is that what you're calling it now?
Yep. So we've got Instant's counterpart, which is Galileo Pro, and really that's what Galileo's done for about the last 20 years or so, right? And traditionally, and not just with Galileo Pro, but traditionally in the card issuing space, there's a number of different kind of roles that need to be played, if you will, and you've got things like KYC, card fulfillment, processing, program management, issuing banks, associations, and all these companies that are playing these roles that need to come together to piece one of these solutions together, a card program, right? So Instant really takes on with the Instant product, Galileo takes on that role of the payments expert, and includes a lot of those things that I mentioned. The program manager taking care of fulfillment and KYC, that sort of thing, and we take care of that for the client. So it's not just limited to processing the cards. We really take on those other roles as well.
Got it. So it sounds like you took a lot of the complexity out of the product, particularly for non-financial companies that likely haven't gone through this process before. What was the programming? What was the technical hurdle that you guys had to get over to remove that complexity, to make it so instant?
That's a great question. I think, a big thing was just that this was a new concept for Galileo, a new concept for our bank partner, and a lot of learning kind of along the way.
I'm sure.
While trying to package together a solution like this that can work out of the box and give our clients the ability to just easily create cards. And so a lot of learning that took place there. But I think from a technical perspective, Galileo has a lot of technical talent that we were able to leverage that and the knowledge, the industry knowledge at Galileo, and just we're able to kind of piece the solution together, and ultimately we're really, really happy with what we've seen so far.
And now a word from our sponsor. At Tearsheet's Day-to-Day conference, Fiserv's Paul Diegelman drilled down into the future of personal financial management. Paul, you're talking about PFM 2.0.
It's actually two separate and distinct applications. Liquidity is a huge problem right now. People just don't have time to do things twice. Basically, most parts of the country shut down for COVID. Our PFM user growth was over 20% in the first 2 weeks alone. Underrated, 100%. How could we use AI to impact PFM? I'm up for anything that helps people. And to help people, you need an economic model.
To access the full video from Paul's talk, go to tearsheet.co/speedoflife. So I know there was a lot of interest in Instant before you guys launched. Can you talk about, quantify what that interest was and what you were hearing from customers, what they were interested in, and how, I guess, the other side of that is how Instant actually fulfilled that need. What were you hearing from customers, I guess, first off?
Yeah, so I guess from customers, we let me take a step back. So
great.
I had a conversation with our business development team at Galileo. This is pre-Instant, and one of the things we were looking at is the number of clients, prospective clients rather, that we were essentially turning away at Galileo because we weren't able to qualify them as leads based on the stage they were at or the resources they had to dedicate toward a payment solution. And they said that number, and this is now a couple of years old, but it was as many as 75 to 100 businesses every year that we were turning away because we didn't have a product that we could offer. So that was kind of in the early days of Instant, was just how can we create a product that allows startups, not just big fintech companies, but new businesses or non-fintech businesses to kind of participate in what it means to have a card and account based payment solution. And so that was really much of the origin there. And so kind of as we got going, we launched our beta at the end of last year, and nearly immediately, we were getting a lot of inbound interest in from businesses that simply wanted to either do proof of concept, or they had a small kind of set of cards that they wanted to begin to issue, or they had the need to just simply make a payment and wanted to do that onto their own cards. So we were getting a lot of feedback that a lot of feedback regarding like how much we were able to kind of serve just that tiny piece of the market, at least early on, which was, hey, we just want to help you get your cards because you've got you see value in that. So that was kind of the first box we wanted to check, is just how fast can we go from zero to cards in hand. And that was kind of our starting point. And a lot of businesses that we were in discussions with early on, they saw a lot of value in that, and we, we're getting that feedback from them.
How fast can you go from zero to card in hand?
So right now it's about, you can go from zero to cards in hand in as few as 14 days. So that's kind of the, kind of the 2-week period we put on it. We've done, I'll say we've done demos of the product that are faster than that. But if you came to Galileo today and you wanted to get some cards with Galileo Instant, it'd be about 14 days.
Did the interest that came in when you guys were running that beta period, did that surprise you that there was so much interest about it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So over the course of about 6 months or so, we had about 450 companies that came into our dashboard. So our dashboard is a kind of a web tool accessible from our corporate website, and kind of helps drive the self-serve component or nature of the instant product, right? So you've got businesses that can come in and sign up, create card products, keys for API keys to interact with our system, and just start building without really any interaction with an employee at Galileo, right? So we had about 450 enrollments there, and kind of since our launch and over the last couple months even, we're approaching kind of double that number. So it's been super exciting, and the interest has been awesome for sure.
And where does, you mentioned the Galileo Pro product, which is really was the cornerstone Galileo product. How do they sit together within the portfolio? Meaning, it sounds like what you're saying is the instant, if somebody wants to go, from zero to as fast as possible to get a card to market, the instant product is there. If somebody wants something more custom or more complex, it sounds like Pro services that. Is that, do I understand that correctly?
Yeah, I think you've got the right understanding. And, the way I think about it is it's two solutions that complement each other very well. I think we'll still, on the Pro side, continue to kind of serve the fintech market that, very large payments and fintech companies that require, maybe more customization, as you mentioned, or more involvement with that solution. And then on the instant side, we've got, the payments that simply want to issue some cards or to make a payment. So, and that's kind of another area that we've looked at definitely is, what it means for a business to be able to make a payment onto a card. So, issuing cards and accounts, it's, you might ask, well, like why do I want my own digital bank or card program?
Mm-hmm.
But what we've found is that there's, a lot of businesses out there that have the need to make the payment out to an individual. So, I think, and to give you an example, I think we're living in kind of a more modern world now where you've got millions of individuals now generating an income from gig economy jobs or content creation. So you've got Uber drivers, YouTubers, and Twitch streamers, and all of these individuals need to be paid their income, right? So we've, I think as we looked at how those payments are being made today, it's things like paper checks, ACH payments, and some of these payment mechanisms that are more traditional and have a lot of time there for like when those individuals are actually going to receive their funds. So it might be a few days for an ACH or a couple weeks for a paper check, and we looked at that and saw a big opportunity for Instant to play a role in that space, where you can now have a company like a Twitch or a company like a YouTube that are able to now make a payment directly onto a Twitch or a YouTube card using Instant.
Interesting. And is that the primary, I guess, of what you've seen launched already? Is that the primary use case, is making B2B payments and not necessarily B2C, like banking type applications?
So I think there's kind of two primary use cases that we've seen. One of them being the kind of early fintech startup that is doing a lot of proof of concept and early development, and they've got the aspirations to go pro long term, but are starting with Instant. And then on the other hand, we've got the businesses. This is kind of use case number two, that fall into the category of just simply wanting to make a payment, out to an individual, and they want to do that on their own card, due to both kind of the cost reduction of that payment mechanism, as well as ultimate revenue that could come back in the form of card interchange. So those are kind of the two primary use cases that we're seeing.
Got it. And so, I mean, we're a month and a day or whatever into launch. It may be premature to ask you where you're headed with the product, but what are you thinking in terms of roadmap, like down the road? Or is the simplicity of this to the end user like the main goal, or are you going to add more functionality out to this over time?
We do have a bit more functionality, I think, that we'll continue to add, but ultimately, I think it's that nice combination of the Instant and Pro offerings at Galileo, where if you really need more of whatever it is, configuration, customization, ultimately Pro is what you've ought to look at. And so I think Instant will kind of get to that point where we have a really well refined product, that's not over the top on features or anything like that, but just serves kind of our primary use cases well, and then we'll begin to take that and move to the international space as well, and kind of follow Galileo. Galileo's got their international expansion right now, and I think as I think about Instant, ultimately, we'd want to be available in any region or market that Galileo is available in. So I think that's kind of just to speak to a little bit of the roadmap, but I think ultimately we would look to take it to new markets.
And in the remaining time we have, I guess one last question. How many people had a hand in creating Instant within the company? Like, how big was the team or the greater team that was involved in this launch?
Wow, that's a good question. I think I'll give you the Galileo team answer. So there's and I know I'm gonna run into trouble because I'm not going to be able to account for everyone. There's a lot of involvement that it would have gone across the desks of many individuals, not just at Galileo but at partners as well. But I'd say maybe in the 10 to 12 range, and we're growing, and we'll have a lot more folks involved, but I think that would be kind of the number there. Okay. that I would give.
And what are your, as the director of the group, what are your biggest priorities going into the second half of 2020? And we can end with this.
Yeah, so my biggest priority is now just onboarding business. I think it's the biggest thing. So, we've gone through our beta, we've done our official launch, and now, we've got clients that we need to that we need to serve and get launched, and just keep the ball rolling. So we've got kind of a steady stream of folks that are continuing to come into our dashboard and enrolling, and just helping those businesses, our clients, get to where they want to be. That's definitely the big priority right now.
Cole, thanks for joining us on the Tearsheet podcast today.
Yeah, Zach, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.